Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to Foundry Reviews. Today we are reviewing the last episode of The Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 24,
Yes.
The Return. Boys, it is finally over, and this episode was about disappointing overall as this whole season.
Yeah, there's a lot that happens, and
Yeah.
it was a little bit interesting.
Simultaneously, nothing that happens.
Not where I was expecting it to go, but
So they had like bullet points of big things that happened throughout the episode, and that's
this
how
is
they
a recurring
filmed it.
theme.
That's how they just they nailed all those things on the nose, and they're like, yep, episode done. They're like, you want to tie these things together? No.
Yeah, it's like, what's gonna happen to Moff Gideon? What's gonna happen to the Darksaber? Are they gonna get to return to their planet? What about life on the planet? Okay, we hit all of these points. Great, good job. That's an episode.
That was one of the most like episodes that felt like it just like a middle of a season. That felt I don't know.
Worst
man.
finale
Kept
of the
going.
3 seasons. Worst finale of the 3 seasons.
Oh, for sure. Yes. By
I mean,
it
there was
just-
no stakes. There was no suspense.
I feel like everyone
Ugh.
knew what was gonna fucking happen. It's like, oh my god, is Zach's gonna live or die? Oh fuck! Like,
Who cares about
that's
it?
our mistake. A dude that I met like 2 episodes ago was a fucking douchebag. Like,
There's so many just weird.
who wants to
things in this
fight over
episode.
chess? I couldn't give
Like,
a fuck.
That's funny. He did. Fight
Baz
over
Pisla, at least he had a
Baz
fucking
Pisla.
son.
Ragnar!
At least he had a son, you know? Right? Like,
What-
at least I care to live about him.
Yeah.
He
It
took
was-
the helmet
this-
off his little head, dude.
Little head. This episode was so weird because they're like, all right, let's just send 2 guards to capture the Mandalorian, bring him away, and they're like, you really
And
thought that was
immediately
gonna be
he's
enough?
like, he gets out of it immediately. It's so fucking funny.
Oh,
He's like,
Grogu.
"Bro,
it
I've
was
got-"
cool. Grogu came in to help though. That was pretty
No. Yeah, I was very happy
funny.
about that.
That was pretty funny. I enjoed that part at least.
I'd say that's the best. That's what like the highlight of the season pretty much is.
and they unfortunately took it away from us. It's not permanent. It's
Yeah.
boo.
That
Boo.
is-
It was a bad fucking episode, man. Just
Can we
a lot
talk
of
about
weird
the
conclusions
ray
to
shield
things.
scenes with the callback to Phantom Menace?
Oh, fighting in between
I
them.
fucking hated that.
oh, is
You
that
hated that?
was that supposed to be
much.
that?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was definitely a callback to that, and it felt like
You're right.
it felt very video gamey, like how you progress like one door at a time.
Boss
But
level.
man,
Well, he wasn't
I-
gonna fight them all at once.
No.
Yeah, it was
but
smart.
it's. I'm telling you, I almost regret whenever they have Mando on this like camera, because half the scenes he's in these days, it's just massively disappointing because I
kinda
expect
cringy.
better from him. Yeah, it's very cringy. I expect better
the
from
whole-
this well-trained
the whole fight
bounty hunter.
with like Moff Gideon, and then before that with those red troops and everything. I was just like, man, this feels like so
Yes.
grossly choreographed, and just like it's like the objective of this fight is for him to block my shit and for me to not hit him. It's like that's how they're going about the fight. They're not trying to kill Mandalorian. They're trying to get the Mandalorian to block their attacks. That's how it felt like. It was like it hurt to watch a little bit too.
Yep.
I just don't know. And oh man, that was like the one thing that like kind of really that really like hurt me quite a bit.
What hurt me was Moff Gideon crushing that fucking.
Allegedly. I figured you would have a pretty strong reaction to that beat. It was very, like, it was fine, whatever, in the moment. But first, how did he crush it? He crushed her hand into it. Shouldn't that have held up more than her
Honestly,
like flesh hand?
There's so many like plot holes, especially with like him and his freaking, he's got his silverback like Mechazord costume with like,
Yeah,
and,
is he
like,
is he supposed to be like part
enhancements.
robotic or something?
Honestly, his entire suit seems like it's a mix between like electronics and Beskar armor.
Which
I
it
think
seemed
it
like
was, yeah.
they were leaning towards going somewhere with that with the end of the second season, because he had all of those like robotic soldiers. I'm like, all right, so if he started like
Makes
to
sense.
change some of that stuff up and incorporate that into his own arsenal, cool, that would make sense. But you have to show that shit instead of just like him being like he's like Mecha Moff, you know? Like
Mecha Moff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure the next season they're gonna be like, oh, actually he was a clone. The real Moff Gideon is still alive.
So many people are theorizing that.
I
I
hope
fucking
that's
hate
not
it because
true.
you know what? 3 seasons was enough, Moff Gideon. Move on.
It's like you had a chance. The very first season, like, yes, very intimidating, like very big enemy, and it's just like you just kept choking. You just kept fucking choking. You had a good villain, and you just fucking buried him, and you buried
You
him.
should have left him alone for season. After season 2, they should have left him there. They should have had some completely different storyline for season 3, and then season 4, someone comes and springs him loose.
Should have done some
and they're
Wilson
wreaking
Fisk
havoc.
type of shit,
Yeah, exactly.
with the Daredevil show.
Exactly. But no. Instead, he's like, you had to embarrass me in front of the Purge troopers. Fucking.
Fuck, man, the show fucking sucks. I can say that now because the whole season was shit.
The whole season was.
The whole
it was
season
pretty
was
disappointing.
fucking
There was like
bad.
one shining episode in it, and even
Whereas
then,
Grogu's
it wasn't.
like, look at my fucking frog, bro. I can fucking got a frog, dude. Also, the armorer is like, you want to adopt him? It's like, has he not been adopted this entire fucking time?
Yeah,
It's like that
not
means
officially.
nothing to me. Like that, like, oh, he's finally adopted him. Wow.
Wait, and he's Din Grogu? What is that?
So that
How does
reminds
that
me.
make sense?
Yes, that's a funny thing. I have a feeling they're doing some reverse thing. So that implies that in Mandalorian culture there are some ethnicities or groups, kind of like Fa Mulan, Din
Yeah.
Djarin.
No, I mean like Japanese names. You say
Exactly.
the last name
It's
first. But does that mean his name's Djarin the whole time?
Yup.
Are they trying to
Weird.
retcon his name? Is that why?
No, they're
know.
just his last name comes first technically. If you just call him Din Djarin, which means every time someone calls him Din, they're just calling him by his family name.
Which is fine. People do that sometimes.
It is, yeah. It's the equivalent
It's
of
just-
saying Mulan. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just weird.
It's
it's just strange.
I don't know why they did that. I felt like that was pointless. It was like,
It was weird. Yeah.
All right, so one thing that threw me out of this episode, and I had to rewind to go back and be like, did that just happen?
What?
Was, I think it was Moff Gideon was, what was it? I think Grogu ended up in the other area with the 3 red troopers.
guards. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think Din Djarin was fighting Moff Gideon, but he wanted to go, help Grogu. But then Bo-Katan came in and was like, "All right, I'll take on Moff Gideon. You go help Grogu." And I was like, "How did she know that? She just got here. You didn't.
Oh, yeah.
There was no way you would have seen Grogu go.
That's a
get
really good
attacked
fucking
and
point.
into the other room." But she's like, "Go save your son." I'm like, "How would you know that?" I was like, I
What
was
was she
like,
doing
I had to
before that?
pause, and she was fighting in the air. They were
Yep.
just coming in and leading the charge in. She was fighting, and she saw Moff Gideon, came down here, and then she was like, "Go save your son." I'm like, "What do you mean? You just got here. How do you know that?"
You know what I love? The part I actually love, out of nowhere, Axe is about to crash the fucking cruiser into the planet, and just he's like, "Guys, I'm about to crash. Get the fuck out!" And he's like, felt like it was no time at all. He's like, "He's got
Yeah, it was
2
already,
minutes."
right there.
I was getting those vibes of I'm about to bust, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait. No.
It was just out of nowhere. I thought it was so funny. I'm like, you couldn't give a better heads up, man.
Yeah, I think he maybe said something earlier that. Wait, no, did he even say that was
I
his
don't think
intention?
so,
I have
man.
no
I don't
idea.
know. He just made everyone
just
leave. He's
jumped
like,
ship.
everyone evacuate. And he's like, he sat in a chair, and while they're destroying the ship,
That
and
was-
I'm just
yeah,
like,
that's
no shields, no nothing. Like, all right.
That was straight out of what was it? The
The Last Jedi with
Last
that
Jedi.
Captain Holdo, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking late,
Telling you,
man.
too much sequel influence on this episode.
It's the
Actually,
Disney
the whole
writers,
season,
bro.
but this episode, it shined through, and it was disgusting.
Disgusting.
Hated it.
Which it
Fresh.
sucks too because I was kind of on board. I'm like, all right, sweet, man. Like the last 2 episodes were pretty good. I enjoyed the pirate. I enjoyed the previous episode Spies. I think I like those episodes. I was into it. The droid one as well with Jack Black. Like I thought those were thumbs up in my opinion.
Yeah.
And this one was just like, man, you couldn't have capitalized off of fucking anything, any fucking momentum you finally had in the show. You fucking killed it.
I'm gonna say something really polarizing.
Oh.
I enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett's finale more than this one.
The Book of Boba Fett finale was like so
All over the
fucking
place.
just off the walls to where it's like, yeah, like at least it's not fucking boring the shit out of me. Like why not, you know?
That's what it was. It was just like shitty like writing and like bad acting and random spinning.
Go
but I was
for
like,
it.
I'm not bored. I'm entertained.
It's like it was a lot of action. It was a lot of good action too. And it's
Yeah.
just like there's a
Yeah.
fucking Rancor and there's like 2 fucking Mandalorians in a street getting shot up. Like and it's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
Well,
no,
this one was like everything
No.
that happened was like so predictable.
You
And
snuffed
didn't
out
even
my
see the
beautiful
Mythosaur.
clothes before
Yeah,
they
he-
even had a
It
breath.
just does a close up and he's just like looking there like a fucking idiot, just
Oh, I
like
hated
blinking. I'm like, sweet.
You know what it was reminding me of? It was essentially like I think alluding to the fact that they're assuming the Mythosaur is a force-sensitive creature, which sure, cool, but like I'm pretty
I
sure
wish
half
the show
fucking
wasn't about the
galaxy
Force
is.
though. In my opinion, I don't want the show to be about the Force. I want the show.
Then someone needs to cunt punt Grogu because we don't need him in the show then because as long as he
I mean, like, I'm fine with
Well-
me like having the Force, but I don't want it to be about the Force. You know, like I want
Yeah.
less Jedi stuff. I want stuff like I want less things about the Jedi. I want to get away from the sequels and the trilogies as much as possible.
Now we are, because they destroyed the Darksaber.
Exactly. I think honestly, this show's biggest weakness and the turning point for us was the moment we stopped not knowing what came next. As soon as we started having ideas of what we thought was going to come next, everything went down the drain. Our expectations were higher because we had more knowledge base off of what they gave us than what they did with it. They set everything up and then they did not follow through.
Instead
on
of going
anything.
a new direction, they could have surprised us
Exactly.
and we could have had fun with like, oh, whoa, that's cool. They're like,
Exactly.
oh, we got to tie it in. It's like, oh, well, here we go.
First thing I was thinking about the ending of this episode, I was so frustrated, aside from just like the lack of closure, but how they kind of like came full circle back for Din Djarin. He's just a freaking bounty hunter, dude.
Yep.
I
He's
spent
back to
three and a
square
half
one.
seasons following this guy, thinking, holy shit, maybe he's gonna have this like awakening where he's like realizing, oh shit, you know, I can lead people, I can do this for my tribe, I can restore order to my planet.
he's a
He's
loner.
like, nah, I'm just gonna hunt people and put them in carbonite. Yeah,
Go back
But
to
I
it.
just have the starship that can hold me and a baby.
exactly. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I got my own little plot of land. Now I just need a banjo, some shit kicking neighbors, and a spittoon, and we're good to go.
I can bring you in cold, or I can... No, sorry, I got to bring you in pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only
Why?
option.
Why? It's so annoying.
Bad.
Yeah, I think Sly summed it up with the feeling of lack of closure, because it's weird because they like tried to have closure for a lot of things. The Mandalorians returned to their homeland. They restarted the Forge. You know, we saw the Mythosaur. Grogu had like a connection with it there because he has connections with, you know, beasts like the Rancor from Boba Fett. And we saw the Darksaber. It got destroyed, so that's supposed to be closure for that. And all this stuff. And you know, Din Djarin's now back to square one, and he's living with, you know, Grogu on this place, and they're gonna go on adventures. Cool, but like it felt like a bit lackluster for some reason. I don't know why, because I felt coming out of that episode like, I guess that's the finale. I wasn't like, all right, cool, that's a good end of the season. I didn't feel that like I wanted to, but unfortunately, I just felt like I guess that's the end. I guess that works as the ending.
And
I'm
I've
not
heard
sure.
so many stupid theories about what's gonna come next. Like, oh, they've restored the Great Forge, and like since the Darksaber's destroyed, they're just gonna recreate it, reforge it. For Grogu, he's gonna be the new like Mandalore. I'm like, dude, stop it.
They
Stop
should
it.
have said something
Touch
about it,
grass.
though. They should have mentioned, like, oh, it's destroyed. Good riddance. We didn't need it anymore. Something. Anything.
Yeah,
but they
it's
just
like,
destroyed
it's
it and
the
just
last
left it
sign
there.
Of the
Yeah.
old ways.
How?
A new age of Mandalore is starting.
Like, I hate it. You know, like 2 episodes ago, this was the main reason why Bo-Katan got her allies, because that stupid glow stick.
They should
And
have
then
thrown
now
it in
they're
the
just, like,
forge.
Gone.
Yeah, I can't believe they just didn't say anything. Like, how do you have
Yeah.
that be so critical for the last 2 seasons, and then you're just like, all right, it's destroyed, and just leave it there?
Yeah,
Not
you
even a
could've said,
mention.
like, no, we like
Almost a
our
whole
people do not need
season
this.
of the Clone Wars, you know, like just disrespected like that.
Oh yeah, and then
it's just like
Rebels,
something.
it plays a big part. So it's like,
True.
dude,
It's there too. It's just like you could have just like said something about how it ends. Like, don't leave it just like implied. Say like, oh, Like, if you're gonna rebuild it, fine, whatever. Just say that. Or, we didn't need it anymore. Throw it in the forge and melt it back down. That's fine too. It's
Say
just
that,
something.
like, it was holding them back to being a successful race, or the rebuilding of Mandalore doesn't need.
Yeah, it was
like
cursed
that.
or something. Blah blah blah. Something like that. Who cares? But just
Reading it. So
something.
yeah, apparently you're right. He broke her hand.
Oh shit.
Damn, dude.
I mean, that would make sense. Like,
Wow.
you have to break
And
your
you
hand
said
to
there
get
were
through
no
that.
stakes for the show, huh?
I know, right? Yeah, what's she gonna do? Put nail polish on the other one now, dude?
Oh, damn.
Oh, it's a bummer. It's a bummer.
Yeah, that's. I think that's about it. Those are all
Yeah,
my big
there's
thoughts on the
there's not
episode.
much to say about it. I mean, like,
No.
Moff Gideon had clones, but then he didn't, and that was 30 seconds of
Yeah.
he has
they're gone.
clones, now he doesn't. Literally 30 fucking seconds.
And
to
he's so
take that
bitter
in,
about it too.
And they got rid of it. That's it.
You snuffed them out before they had a chance to breathe the air.
My beautiful babies. It's like Archer.
I was thinking that. No, you maniac!
God damn you all to hell! You killed them.
Jeez.
Which I
Confirmed.
felt,
He's just Krieger. Yeah.
he's just like a mad scientist. Man, no Thrawn, no nothing, no hints for Ahsoka. Fucking garbage finale. What a shit finale. Terrible. But
good.
just meh episode overall. For a
Yeah.
fucking season. Yeah, man.
Meh.
It feels so exhausting because that's where we got what, like 9 episodes or something like that. Is that how many we did?
It was.
8 episodes per season.
Yep.
8
Sounds about
episodes. So that's what we got at the end of it. Fucking
That was
terrible. And all those episodes were so short as well. And it's just like,
Yeah, this one was only 42 minutes. It's one of the shorter episodes, aside from like the first episode and I think the 4th episode looks like. So like, it's one of the shortest episodes, and it's the finale. Like, that's kind of
I should have fucking known that this season was gonna be something, was like not gonna be great because of that shit intro. That no direction at all.
Yeah. But maybe that means we can get a clean slate in the next season and just have unrelated to other bigger Star Wars things, adventures.
Man, I don't even.
I assume it'll tie into Ahsoka somehow still. With that movie that Dave Filoni's going to be doing, I have to imagine.
I'm not excited about that either. The fact that they're gonna wanna like make. He's said it. He's like, I want like an Avengers level crossover for all Star Wars stuff. No, don't do it. Scrap it. Throw it away.
I don't want to watch anything Star Wars related right now. That really
want a
just
break,
killed my
yeah.
interest. I'm just like, I'm meh. Like, I feel meh on it.
Yeah. No, best Star Wars thing I've seen in a while is Jedi Survivor. Best Star Wars thing in terms of story.
I agree.
Everything
actually.
else has not come even close.
Yeah.
The films have sucked. That is the only highlight. No bueno.
Yeah. Well, let's give it all rating, you guys. I think we can stop shitting on it. I think everyone got that point across that it's bad. We would love to talk about more stuff, but it is what it is, that's their bed. We get the
You know
lie
what
in
the
it.
show was missing this episode? It was missing a dude with a Camptono of ice cream. That's what it was fucking missing.
Oh,
we
you son of
needed
a
him.
bitch. You son of a bitch. Gotta bring the ice cream guy into this episode, huh?
Ice cream guy.
You think that's gonna bump it up a rating?
Yeah, I think so. You imagine if there was like a space ice cream truck? He's
Everyone stops fighting. Like, hang on. Go ice cream.
got this little like jingle
He's
going
like, look,
on.
I got
Wait,
Spider-Man.
wait,
His
wait, wait.
eyeballs all fucked up. His eyeballs all droopy at his head.
All right, ratings.
Shit.
5.
Damn.
I felt like a very
5.
average, not exciting episode. I'm like, it was there. I consumed it.
It existed.
Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna have to second that. I'm gonna give it a 5 as well.
A 5.
Very
I
lackluster.
may be a little disappointed because it's the season finale as well, and I feel
well, you
like
hold it to a higher standard.
Yeah. I don't think I'll give it a 5, but I'll give it a 6. It's still pretty low. It is kind of disappointing.
very, very disappointing. Man,
Like- Yeah.
Jesus. This would you say this season is worse than the Book of Boba Fett season 1?
That's. I don't know about that.
That's a hard one.
I think they're pretty similar. I would say this season of Mandalorian beats it out just a little bit. It's
agree.
it's it's still a bit better. There are some nuggets of like good episodes, good moments that I still really did enjoy. There's just like, I think it's when we're comparing it against the potential for this season and the hype, it fell quite a bit more flat than you would have liked it to.
Yeah.
Falls short. Yeah.
With Mandalorian, I think that's like, for me, like that's the pinnacle of live action Star Wars recently for me.
It's
And it was just
it should
very
have been a
disappointing.
perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Like they nailed it with the first couple seasons. Like,
Oh, yeah.
why did you not pour more time and resources into this? This is the one that you know people are really enjoying.
Don't know,
Like-
man.
Like
Even the-
hardcore
even the-
fans and like new fans were enjoying The Mandalorian from what I could tell, and it was going great. So what did you do?
Yep. What did you do with all these brand new fans at your first season, like with having Grogu? Because Grogu was like a money making machine, dude. I knew
Seriously.
so many people that did not give a shit about Star Wars, but were in love with Baby Yoda, and they're like, and that brought so many brand new eyes, fresh eyes to like Star Wars. And what they do with it, they fucking dropped the ball, and there you got this
They
season
fumbled.
like years later. It's crazy. It's insane. We should do a podcast where we rate like all of our live action Star Wars stuff.
Oh,
That'd
that
be
would go on
interesting.
for quite a while.
I know, yeah.
There's
so
just a
much
couple
to talk
seasons
about.
and 9 movies.
Yeah, and you know, a couple other shows here and there, and other movies too, because you also have to think about the what is it, the
Han
Yep.
Solo, the Solo story, which is actually
Solo.
which is a banger.
I was
The-
wondering if you were
the-
going like extended universe type stuff.
the Andor movie. Well, it's not the. I can't remember what.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yeah.
Movie's alright.
That's a good one. What do you? What?
Yeah, it's alright.
All right, no, not right now, not right now. Save it.
Good.
I'm going for the ankle, Ken.
Shit. So what do
Don't
we?
dick twisting, please.
Alligator death roll.
That's funny. What are we thinking for the overall season score?
Throw it
what are you
away.
guys thinking? No.
Spin on it. Do it on the ground. Overall, out of 10,
Yeah. Out of 10.
I give this one 5.
Ooh, wow.
Yoda snacks
5.
out of 10.
I gotta give it a 6. It was really bad. I'm being generous with the 6 because if we go back and look at the numbers we've given it, it does not align with that. We've been bashing on this thing for like 6 out of the 8 episodes. It has been very, very, very disappointing.
Yep.
Damn. Shit. I don't know. This is a tough one. I would lead more towards the 6, but I'm a slightly more positive.
It's okay.
So I'll go with a 7, and
That's
I think
fine,
that puts us at an even 6 for the overall score.
Yeah.
You brought balance to the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there you guys go. There was season 3 of The Mandalorian. We might be doing some more Star Wars stuff in the future. When's our next project, Ahsoka? Do we have some time before that?
Yeah. It comes out like fall, so yeah, we got some time.
Yeah,
got
so
some
we
time,
might be doing some Star Wars stuff in between. If you guys are interested in that, please leave some suggestions down below in the comments. That would be lovely. But Ken, Sly, thank you guys for the season, for reviewing it with me. I had a great time
Great.
with it. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
enjoyed discussing it, and I can't wait for Ahsoka. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have that here on the Foundry. If you guys look forward to that, please subscribe. Drop some support for the Foundry. We'll see you guys later on the next review or react. But until then, bye everybody.
Peace.